Hello guys, welcome to CloudBuy. In this sessions I am going to discuss how to install Oracle 19c in a OCI cloud compute instance. So this video is a part of my 19c Oracle data guard, but I'll be installing this Oracle 19c as a separately, so that it will be a different video, okay, altogether. Thank you. Okay, I already have my compute instances running. I log in as a OPC. So the next steps, I'll be sudo su, so that will come as a root. I'll be creating some folder, maybe u01 okay, and might be u01 data, and maybe also I'll be okay. So the first things I'm going to do I'll be using create a group and groups and user for Oracle installation. So I'll be using group add as a DBA and the group add away installs, and then I will be adding a users and providing this group's name. Okay, so first thing I'll be let me go to Oracle. Okay, let me change the password of Oracle. At last. Okay, so first of all I'll be installing the prerequisites, and since it is OEM, it's quite easy. All the prerequisites are available in a part of the YAM, so I'll be just installing this. Okay, I need a root privilege. Okay, let's go to the root. Okay, all the prerequisites are installed. You can see that these are the dependencies got installed. Okay, the next steps, I have to install the particular software, that is executable. This executables is already downloaded at my local machine, so I have to first FTP or SFTP to this SCP to here. Okay, so I'm going to do that right now. Let me create a files just for the softwares and chmod 777 to the files. Okay, and here this is my particular zip file. So what I'm going to do that, I'll give the path and the file name, and OPC at take the public IP address and files. Okay, so this will take some time to copy the things. So once the copy is done, I'll proceed with the next steps, the installing this particular file through YAM. Okay, before the installations, I just want to show you something. This is the one of the installation node for the Oracle Database 19c, Oracle in OL7, that is Oracle Linux. You can see that there is two kind of setups. One is automatic setups, which we have done, okay, and one is manual setups. So if you are using the database, automatic setups, there is a auto value for everything, like the kernel settings, semaphore settings, IPv4 settings. It is all auto value. I can show you that what is the auto value after the installation, after the software installation. But okay, these are the values automatically setups. Okay, so if you want to change something, you can do it in the manually. You can change here, or you can do the manual setups as well. So if you do the manual setups, you have to do this following installation through the yum. Okay, there is some kind of additional setups which you have done already, like this steps already done. The another setups is required. This is set Linux. You have to put it the permissives, and this is both valid for both automatic or manual setups. So we are going to do that right now. Okay, we can see that this is enforcing, so I'll be changing to permissive. After that, I will have two options. Either I can do the reboot, restart the servers, or I can set enforce permissive. Okay, so the firewall portions I will be showing you a little bit later. Maybe you can see now it is required for status firewall D. It's active. The firewall is active. We can definitely disable the firewalls. It's disabled now. Okay, and vendor present is enabled. It's now disabled. So I'll stop the firewall as well. Okay, it's stopped. Okay, the next steps is there. I have to do the installations, the files I have taken. Okay, after that things after this installation, we can do the two steps. Either we can configure the data automatically using this Oracle 19c, that is Oracle DB ORCL DB 19c configure command. This is automatic setups. Okay, I'll also discuss how to what are the parameters is there in the configuration file, and what things you can change. Another thing is that we can discuss about this if you want to do it manually through the DBCA, either silent or the this got completed now. So I can see the here. We go to the files. I can see the file came. Okay, so the next steps, what I'm gonna do, I can install these things, the Oracle software. Okay, I think I have to take this one. Okay, I have to unzip it, sorry. Unzip. So this might take I believe 1 or 2 minutes. So once it's done, I'll be showing you the remaining parts. Now I'll discuss about this configuration, DB creation. Okay, so if I'll go to this website, there are mentions about this how we can the configuration file, and what is there in the configuration file. It is there mostly the listener port, Oracle data locations, the EM if you are using the EMs and all these things, and what are the additional parameters we can provide. So let first open the file, the configuration file. Let's see what's there inside, and we'll discuss. So this is the configuration file. If I'll go for the manual level, automatic level, sorry. Okay, so it's having the listener port, it's having the Oracle data locations, and it's having the EM. This is all default. You can change it as also mentioned here in the document. Additionally, there are some following parameters you can use as well, like we can use the version, Oracle seed, template name, okay, character sets, PDB name, number of PDBs, listener names, and the create as CDB. Okay, these are the things you can do it in the configurations file as well for the automatic database creation. Okay, so it's your choice. As is mentioned here, it's quite easy. Okay, so now the installations is done. Since the installation is there is somewhere here, var, okay, I believe is var opt or opt, yes, Oracle. This is the Oracle home is here, product 19C. This is my Oracle home. Okay, so if I'll do the configurations this way, so it will configure for me using this particular configuration file, and it will configure, but I am not going to use that. You can do that if you want, because it doesn't give me the enough flexibility. What I am going to do, I'll be using this DBC as a slide end method. Okay, let me set these things. For me, okay, go to the Oracle, and I'll set this path. Okay, and then I'll go to the bin directory, sorry, Oracle home, bin dbca, yes, it's there. Let me check if I'll do anything change here. U01 order is there. I have to change some permissions level. Okay, let me go back to the root, ch on -r Oracle, install U01 order data. Okay, good. So Oracle, rest of the things looks fine. Let's run it. Okay, so I am running DBCA in the silent mode. Let's see what's happened. These are some warnings. We can look into that, but this is okay. This is not error. They're just warning. So it is. It will take some couple of minutes, I believe. So once it is done, I will come back. Okay, bye. Yeah. Now we can see that my database creation is completed. It says that CDB is on, so creating the pluggable database. So let me try to log in there. My database name is CDB1. Okay, so okay, okay, let me put Oracle home and one. Okay, I already logged in. Select name, open mode from database. Yeah, show PDBs. Okay, there is a one PDB is there, is PDB1. That's didn't write, that's good. So the installations of the database is good. Now the next phase, I am going to configure the listeners and try to log into the database. Okay, in these steps I'm going to discuss to create the TNS entries and the and listener entries for the Oracle 19c and how to connect using this CDB and PDB, and also connect through the Sql Developer. Okay, so I am already in my TNS directory. So I'll be creating first both the listener file and TNS names URL file. Okay, first I'll configure the listener file. Okay, so listener file, I'll show you what we are going to discuss. Okay, this is the listener files I am going to use. My host name is source. For CDB1 I am putting as a global DB name as a CDB1 DGM GRL. I put this thing because the same listeners I am going to use for my DG setups, as well as I put this for my PDB1. Okay, and I also put this ADR base listener. Okay, similarly I'll put for the TNS. Okay, for TNS you can see that I put this both CDB1 and PDB1, and it's a dedicated server, and the service name is same as a the TNS names. Okay, so I'll go to the Oracle home bin, start. Okay, now I'll also check the TNS ping if it is working. CDB1, yes, working. Same for PDB1, yes, working. So first I'll log in and I will create I'll change the username for sys. Okay, my purpose is that to connect, try to show you how to connect. Sys CDB1 as sysdba. Okay, it's connected. Now I'm going to connect to the PDB1. Okay, connected. Now you can see that show con name, so it is connected as a PDB. Now if I'll go back to the CDB, I have to just put the session set container as a CDB root. I'll come as a CDB. Similarly, okay, so I'll put as a PDB1 and so see that how to connect this both as a CDB and PDB. So the last things I want to connect to the SQL Developer from my source machine. My SQL Developer is working, but for that I have to change some certain access, certain rules. 1521 port should be open because currently in the SQL release the port is not open, so I have to make the port is open. So I'll go back to the virtual cloud network. I'll choose my VCN. I go back to my security list and I'll click. You can see that there is no entry for 1521, so I'll put a I'll put as a from everywhere and port is a 1521. Rest of the things you can put, like source port if you have anything, source port range, but for me nothing is there, so I'll put these things. The next thing, this is my SQL Developer. I'll try to connect it. Okay, so I'll go back to compute instance. I'll take the IPv4 IP, like public IP address. Let's connect as a CDB1 or whatever. Sys role as sysdba, host name this, and CD is CDB1, service CDB1, test, success, connect. Okay, you can see that I already connected. Okay, so this portion is done. Just before going to the next sections, I'll just read a small recap about the installations, what we did. So what we did, we'll first on the compute machines we'll press create the DBA groups, and we'll also add the users, and we did the automatic pre-installation steps using the yum, using this particular command, that yum install Oracle pre-install command. And after that what we did, we did some set Linux text, set Linux settings, AC Linux. We also changed the permissibles. Okay, the steps we have done here. Okay, so we have performed these steps. AC Linux, it is we put it as a permissive. We also stop the firewall, incoming firewalls in the OCI level. Thereafter we transfer that our particular Oracle software from my client machine to this the compute instance, and thereafter we'll discuss. We have not done configure the database using this Oracle DB configure 19c configure command, but we have shown you how to configure. We also discussed the configuration files. Thereafter we'll create the database using the DBCA silent options. Okay, so once the database is done, we'll first we create this listeners and Tns Netora, and we'll connect both the CDB and PDB one as well as from the SQL Developer. Okay.